Hello guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to talk about a story that broke last April out there in Horsham, Pennsylvania, involving this woman right here that you see locked up. This woman here is 51-year-old Ruth Whitehead, and she's just been found guilty this morning of first-degree murder of her 11-year-old son, Matthew Whitehead. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman right here strangled her son, claiming that she was sparing him from a painful life after the husband supposedly messed up some of the finances and put them in a financial bind in which she had to sell her house in Wildwood, New Jersey. Now, I'm going to play this video for you, and I'm going to come back and talk about this, but it's crazy how people live a certain way and they feel as though, let me put it this way, they take it out of people that have nothing to do with their financial situation. And this woman, everything this woman did was basically to hurt the father in the act of revenge. And by the way, she tried to use mental illness and the judge shot it right down. Check it out.
Not much of a reaction from Ruth Whitehead as she leaves court, now convicted of first-degree murder in the death of her 11-year-old son, Matthew.
Today we got justice for a beautiful little boy who should have never been in a position to need justice.
A good student enrolled in a private school, Matthew and his father had just made plans for a baseball game hours before his mother strangled him. Whitehead's lawyer says her life was falling apart. The family finances had crumbled. Her husband wasn't bringing in any money and spent the family savings without her knowing. So she took steps to sell the family's second home in the Wildwoods.
That was the last straw. And that if she couldn't have that life, the kind of life where you could afford to send your son to a very expensive school and also keep a home at the shore and also not have to work full time as a mother, then her husband wasn't going to get to enjoy having a son at all.
Motivated by anger and revenge, prosecutors told a judge the child who was once close to his mother began bonding more with his father over sports. And Whitehead wasn't going to allow it anymore.
Her choice of her husband's belt as the murder weapon, her choice to take a photograph of their little boy from when he was about a year old from the junk drawer, and a note that he wrote to his mother about what a great mother she was to him, and to leave those clipped with his latest report card on the counter for her husband to find.
But defense attorney Eugene Teneri says the only explanation was the middle-aged woman was suffering from emotional distress and wasn't aware killing her son was wrong at the time of the murder.
We don't agree with the judge's verdict. We respect it. However, I firmly believe that we established at the very least that she was mentally ill at the time, and I'll go to my grave thinking that.
All right, guys, that's the story of Miss Ruth Whitehead, age 51, out of Horsham, Pennsylvania. And before I get into this story, I want to say something to you guys. I forgot to say happy Friday to everybody. And you know what that means. Friday night live stream, story time with Stock Market Steve, starts tonight at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Can't wait to see everybody there. Now, back to this lady right here. This right here, this story, I don't know if they said it in the thing. I can't recall when I was looking at it. This lady, guys, last year sold the Wildwood home. Now, she didn't discover that this guy, the husband, had messed the money up and all this other stuff. She goes off, sells the Wildwood home. The home in Wildwood that she sold, she got $800,000 from it. They gave her $800,000. And then a week later, you kill your kid. Makes no sense. Financial struggles, $800,000 is a lot of money. Now, it ain't like they're going to come and take that money right out of your hand because you get a check when you got paid. So you didn't have to take this little boy's life. You hear what they said? Little boy was a good kid. Said Matthew was a good kid. Did good in school. Had an excellent relationship with his father, regardless of how you felt about it. And all of this stemmed because he started growing more fonder and closer to his father than his mother. Now, I'm going to show you. This whole thing is about selfishness. Said she took his life because she didn't want him to have a painful life, aka financial struggles. He'll be in your house 7 more years. That ain't got nothing to do with him making good grades in school. A good kid is a good kid. So that right there, you can take that and cry at somebody else that's going to believe it. Second thing is this. You had hatred for this man for messing up the money. Now, this guy done messed up the money and all this stuff and used up the family savings and all of that, but you still had assets that you could sell, and you sold one. Now, I don't know how much money these people had and the way they used to live in, but you got to explain something to you. When you're in a relationship, there will be ebbs and flows in the harmony of said relationship. When you got married, it said till death do you part. Y'all agree or disagree on that? Some people get married when they poverty and make out okay moving forward. Because what? 2 heads are better than one. Male and female species together makes a powerful combination when the rhythm is right. They was together for a while. That woman, 51 years old, got an 11-year-old boy. This was about hatred and revenge. He messed the money up. You wanted to hurt him back. Didn't know how to do it. So what did they say she did? Sent a serious message. Strangled this child with a belt, his father's belt, then took a picture and laid it by the body and a note of how he liked her. Jealousy. I told you before, a long time ago, when boys, especially boys need their fathers. Now, they're close to their mothers when they're younger. And then around 7 years old, they start to, see themselves, as a little person. The man looks like them. They start following behind the father. He teaches them things they go into that young man phase. What do you think was going to happen? That was nature. That was a natural order of things. And you tried to imbalance it with sin. No respect to you, man. And you get everything that you deserve. Now it says she goes for sentencing Friday, which is today. I guess they said so the next day, or it might be next week. But she waived her right to a jury trial, trying to claim she was crazy and all the stuff. They tried to throw the mental illness. No, she took a car and ran it into the ocean. She didn't even drive in the ocean. She just rode her on the side and then got stuck in the sand, got up the car. Oh, the hell with it. And they found her walking down the beach somewhere. You vengefully killed your son. You need to sniff daisies right now. For real. That little boy didn't ask to be here, and for you to do that to your child because of the problems you had with your dad, with his dad, only to say you don't want your son to struggle. His life is his life. 7 more years with you, eating bread and water. I bet he wouldn't want no other parents, except the ones he grew up with that made him who he was. Man, people are so stupid. This woman, 51 years old, killed her son. They trying to claim mental illness, so she didn't know what she was doing. She was just stressed out, and she was thinking of her son first by taking his life. I ain't trying to hear none of that crap. No way, no how. I don't understand this whole situation. Really think about that. None of that makes sense. Oh, I'm crazy. Yeah, but you knew to sell that house and then kill your son. So you sold that house, got that money, probably told the man he ain't getting none of it, or wanted to argue with him about it. He didn't mess the money up. You had a right to be angry. But see, that money that she got from that house had to go to them bills. That pissed her off too. A lot of us out here, make the most with a little less than nothing. She was accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and if she couldn't have that lifestyle, she felt as though she couldn't survive. If that's the case, you could have took your own life instead of taking the life of your child, because he'd have been just fine with his dad. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Give me a comment on this one, man. Tell me what you think. Lady, out of control. That's some of the stupidest stuff. Listen, money make people goofy in the head. It do. Look at some of the celebrities, some of the stuff they do. Millions on top of millions on top of millions. It shows that money doesn't make you, happy. It makes you more of what you are. I think a lot of these people was brain dead before they even came across riches. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.